Now, if you live in a major Australian city, you know that the population is growing. The trains are more crowded and the roads are more congested. But did you know that our population is actually growing faster than some of our Asian neighbours like Indonesia? We're growing faster than the UK and Canada. There's a baby born every 104 seconds in Australia. Now, when those babies are in their 30s, Australia's biggest city will be Melbourne, just ahead of Sydney. But both of them will be cities on the scale that London and Hong Kong are today. When you think about how big Melbourne and Sydney are now, well, that is where Perth and Brisbane are headed. So even though our population is growing at a faster rate than the US or the UK, our birth rates are pretty much the same. So the difference is immigration. Last year, migration accounted for nearly 2/3 of our population growth. Now, of course, where most of us notice all those extra people is here on the road, and that's because 69% of us still get to and from work by car. Now, if there's no investment in transport, and if we don't change the way that we commute, then the travel times on some of our most congested roads are expected to go up by 20%. In some cases, they could more than double. But here's the big one. At the same time, demand for public transport is set to go through the roof. In Sydney, demand's going to go up 55%. In Melbourne, 121%. Across the rest of the state capitals, an average of 89%. Now, are we ready to manage that little situation? Do you remember when Peter Costello told Australian parents they should have one kid for mum, one kid for dad, and another one for the country? Well, the birth rate did actually go up back then. And those kids are about to hit high school. The question is, are the schools there, not just for them, but for their little brothers and sisters? Well, the Grattan Institute's been doing some numbers. New South Wales needs up to 213 more schools. Victoria needs more, 220. Queensland, an extra 197. 72 in Western Australia, 35 in South Australia. Now, while all this is happening, we don't have a national population policy. We don't have a population minister. So who's in charge?